Hello, guys. I'm back again with a review. This time it's for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, SA, South Africa. Yeah, we're still in Jamaica. Londie is there. Episode 9. So I guess we're nearing the end because they're like already on day 9 or 10. Anyways, I think we have one more episode, then it wraps. That's what I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're still on the dinner. At the dinner where Mel has dropped a bomb about Bev's comments about Liz and Liz's race. And the race thing it's not so much the fact that she thinks Liz is white. It's the fact that she said she's surprised that Liz dates black men or dark colored men. I mean, she meant black men. And I think that's what really, hurt Liz. Liz is calling Bev her friend. I'm like, you guys just met. But anyways, she was hurt nevertheless because I think for Liz, it's a trigger. She's been mistaken for a white lady, I think a few too many times. I thought she was a white lady when I watched Real Housewives of GQ when it came on Showmax. My friend Bui Zanu told me, no, she's colored. I'm like, what? Okay, but she gives off, like, for me, I don't know. Even Letabu was like, I thought she was a white lady. I mean, it's easy for her to pass for a white lady, to be honest, but she's very clear about the fact that she's colored, and her issue is she doesn't see why the need for race has to come up. It's just accept people for who they are as people. Well, it's easier said than done because the world is kind of divided right now in terms of race. The things we see happening in the US, it's a lot. I'm happy that I live in Africa and particularly in Kenya, where a majority of the people are the same skin tone as me. I would hate to be in a situation where I'm being given some negative treatment because of the color of my skin. And not to say that I haven't. I was recently in Morocco and I experienced some not so good situations while I was there. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, Bev used her outside voice. She used her outside voice by vocalizing the fact that she thinks Liz is a white woman and shouldn't be dating black men. Bev, word of advice, use your inside voice. Don't use your inside voice outside. And it also makes me actually wonder, like, what is going through Nonku's head when she had this? Because Nonku says, I don't believe Bev is racist and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't know. How does it work? Does someone say something that's racist and I'm not racist? Or was it a moment of error and bad judgment? It also makes me wonder, is Bev befriending Nonku to whitewash her prejudices? Who knows? But those are just questions that are running through my mind when I watch what's happening with the whole race issue, So Nonku, throughout this episode, had been trying to jab at Londie. I mean, they even Nonku brought up, their issue on their show, Durban. And it seems that both ladies remember things differently. I mean, Nonku feels like Londie inherited beef because of the group she was aligned with, which is Annie and the rest. And Londie was just like, no, that particular episode, you were very drunk, and I called it out. It says, that's it. I never called you a drunk. I just called out the fact that you were drunk. Anyway, both ladies remember the incidences and situations differently, and Nonku let it go. Crystal tried to be peacemaker, and I think having a vacation bay has helped calm her nerves and helped her, just see beyond the beef and the BS of the group and whatever they're dealing towards her. You can tell that even when she tries to talk, they're not really listening, and I guess that can get annoying. But she handled it quite well, and she spoke very clearly and said, those who are for you are for you, those are not for you are not for you. Yeah, that was an interesting moment to see Crystal, come into her own and kind of be mature. Though Nonku called out the fact that she's very mature by falling in love in one day, like Nonku and Nonku, I'd say you're also kind of like that, you know. Game recognizes game. I think that's just my opinion, though. So the ladies go out to a bar, I guess, to experience the nightlife, not like the beach party, but just a more chill out bar situation. And the ladies are trying to get Londie to perform because, of course, we know this whole story. If you watch Durban, there's a whole issue about Londie getting paid by Jojo to perform. Anyways, Londie tried and fell flat because the crowd, doesn't know her, wasn't feeling it, weren't ready for such a performance. And then Crystal grabs the mic. Oh my God, Crystal. I was just cringing. Crystal, if no one has told you, you cannot sing. You cannot hold a note. I think the only reason you're able to produce is auto-tune that is done in post-production. But girl, live singing ain't for you. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. Don't do that again. Nah. I mean, the ladies were laughing. I'm guessing people at the restaurant were, I don't know, I'm not sure because they didn't really show us the reactions when Crystal had the mic, but oof, that was like cringe-worthy. No, don't do that again, girl. Yes, and then in this scene, this was a very monumental scene. I remember when we were talking about, we were doing our reviews for Durban with Bui, he mentioned that Londie will have a chance to speak her truth. And this is where Nonku once again asked her about what happened with, the man she was dating, who also happened to have dated Amy, who was on season 4 of Durban that just wrapped earlier a few months ago. And Londie was very clear in her explanation. She said, look, we dated the same guy. It was not her ex-husband. It was a whole other man. And it turned out that there was a crossover because he had paid Lobola. That picture was taken in February. She got hold of it in April, showed it to the guy, and the guy kind of lied about it and said they were in a breakup situation. So this thing is more about the guy than these two ladies, and that's what Londie was clear about. It doesn't seem like Londie is with the guy anymore. She clarified that the guy that guy was not the one who was in the situation where Amy and her kids were hijacked. Dare I say hijacked, because the person who did or orchestrated it was known to Amy. It was a dangerous situation and it was sad because her kids were involved. But nevertheless, it was not the same person. Bev takes Liz out on a rafting on the ocean, and she really wanted to, clear the air with Liz and explain herself. And so they do water raft, and then they get to the beach and they get a chance to have a conversation. And Bev is just explaining herself and talking about the fact that how she was raised by her father is what has created this person that she is, who comes off as prejudice. And she was told never bring an African man home and things like that. Afrikaner man, I guess, black man. And of course, at that point Liz is like, look, I don't want to have issue with you. What you did was not cool. What you said wasn't okay. But I'm going to let it go. But I think Liz is just like, has put her in a certain position and not so close anymore. I mean, that can really, it can mess a relationship. Judging by the fact that they just became friends. I guess it's not that deep, and Liz can easily detach from the friendship based off of that. I don't know. Do you guys buy Bev's explanation? I mean, it sounds realistic and solid, but is it right? No. You're an adult. You should be able to move different and, hold your thoughts together. Use your inside voice inside. Do not regurgitate it outside. And not to Mel, who's not feeling you. Girl, what are we doing? You're not a spring chicken, girl. See Mel, Crystal, and Londie go to the beach. They're going to ride horses. But what stood out to me was the conversation they had. And I'm tending to believe Mel at this point, because Mel has, obviously, they've ganged up against her. The 4 ladies, that's Letabo, Nonku, Bev, and who's the 4th one? Liz. But Liz is on the fence with Mel, you know. She's not going too hard on her. But the other 3, Lassie is playing neutral, riding the fence. Anyway, so Mel is explaining to, Londie how things have been going, how they've been ganging up on her, how she's been painted as a villain. And look, I do believe Bev is the one who orchestrated this thing against Mel. But I just keep asking myself, what did Mel ever do to Bev, and what did Bev ever do to Mel? What history do these 2 really have? Because they weren't on the same show, they weren't on the same cast ever. I don't know, is it Mel is a hotter version of Bev, and Bev doesn't feel like, she feels like this is a hotter version of me, like when I was younger. I don't know what the nemesis is about, but it's a lot. And Londie is starting to see and agree with them, and she's like, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, and she's even leaning towards, being in their group, only because I know she doesn't feel Nonku, not because, she believes that these ladies are bullying or ganging up against Mel. I think it's more about the Nonku thing, She doesn't want to be any side where Nonku is on. It's very clear. She doesn't feel Nonku. They get to horse riding. Oh my God, that scene was, it was funny, but it wasn't, I feel bad for Londie, but it was funny. She couldn't stay balanced on the horse. It's like, what? Is it because of her bunda? Wow, that horse, a headbutt from a horse is, whoa, it's a lot. A horse is a heavy animal. So a headbutt from even a human, another human, is a lot. Now from a horse, that must have hurt. Even she's lucky she didn't get a black eye from that incident, and she made a good call not to get on the horse. Good call, girl. Then we see the other ladies, Nonku, Bev, Liz, and Letabo in the jacuzzi, hot tub, and they're talking about, of course, Nonku's dating life, and Nonku is describing how she's a Ferrari, and the other lady is a Polo, because she's in a polygamous situationship right now. And these ladies are like, you are Nonku Williams, girl. You don't need to be with this man. You don't need to take this thing. Get a whole new man. Like, girl. Miss Oli is up in arms about that. But Nonku, I don't know. Nonku just needs to see that she's who the F she thinks she is. She's iconic. She deserves better. She needs, you know what I'm saying? All the same, they get to talk about Londie, which is Nonku's favorite thing to do, and be messy about it. And the reason she gave about, she said Londie told her off camera that, she was sent back by the airline because her visa needed to be looked at because it had been flagged. Using the word flagged is a bit heavy, but that's the word Nonku chose to use, because apparently Londie had a 10-year visa but hadn't used it in 7 years. So it needed to be, I guess she was sent back to the embassy, because I think after Jamaica she wanted to hop into Miami. I don't know for what, maybe to sightsee. Londie kept talking about brands, so Nonku talked about brands. I'm not sure what that meant. But anyways, it sounds legit enough. It sounds, like a solid reason. I've never heard of that, but the Tabo felt the need to clarify, you do not need a visa to come to Jamaica as a South African. Even as a Kenyan, you don't. But, nevertheless, Nonku felt the need to talk about it on camera. And this is the start of a lot of drama. Anyways, you could see even the ladies, when she said flag, they were looking like, girl, you're being messy, but we are not gonna comment because it's gonna be on camera, okay? Anyway, the ladies, did you cut the shade from Crystal saying how Londie is a bit heavy for the horse? Anyway, that was just some fun shade, I guess. But the ladies now are back at the villa. And no, yes, they're back at the villa and they've had their dinner. These dinners always go south, and they look good, they look stunning, they were styled. Whose outfit did I like the best? I mean, Nonku's was provocatively stunning. I think she was number one for me. And then Londie. And then I liked Liz. She looked nice. Lassie played it safe. She was not my best. She was good, but not my best. Yeah, I don't really remember Bev's look, but it wasn't as basic as Lassie's look. Yeah, Lassie's was my least favorite. My best was Nonku's. Very provocative, very risque. I mean, the chain broke at some point. Anyway, let's get to that conversation. Nonku is hell-bent on getting Londie wound up, riled up, and to talk about the whole airport and visa situation on camera. And the way she starts this conversation is like, girl, you know, me and you. First she goes roundabout and starts saying, and you, I like this about you, and you, I like this about you. And then Londie, girl, you know, we've known each other, we've been kicking it, we've known and I stand for you, even when it comes to the things that happened with Sane on the last season. And you know, you can trust me, you can come to me as a woman, we can talk about things. I know, in my head I'm like, girl, trust you? Everyone is even Bev was like, where are you going with this? Everyone was like, where are you going with this? I mean, when they punched to their faces, it was obvious, like, girl, let's land the plane, land it. And then she says, you know, you told me about the visa thing, and you know, when you told me it was off camera and I forgot, so now I'm just wondering like what really happened. Nonku. I have to hand it to you, girl. I have to hand it. You are the drama. You are the drama. You love the drama. You are the drama, okay? And the fact that Londie walked right into that one was like, girl. You know, I've been saying this, and I said this even in my real reviews, and I think even on my TikTok. I said, if Londie had owned this convo and this narrative and this situation from jump, Nonku wouldn't have used it as fodder to get under her skin. But here we are, and Londie is literally losing her cool, and they're so close to each other. And this is the thing I don't understand about Nonku. Is it that she just doesn't have situational awareness, or she's just doing it on purpose and doesn't give a about it? Because she's going in and she's seeing Londie is getting pissed and cursing her out, and she's like, why is she acting like, why is no Londie reacting like this? I don't understand. Girl, if you don't want to get smacked, you better shut up. Hey, I was like, girl, like, Nonku, I get it, you want to start drama, but girl. Anyway, that didn't end well. And you know, I wish Londie would have just owned it from jump. Anyway, that's it for me and this review. I don't know if I missed out on anything. If I did, please comment in the comment section. Follow me on my other social media pages. I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, and I have a X page, and I'm gonna link them in the description box below. Guys, like, share, subscribe, so that the algorithm can push out this content and let like-minded people like you who are already watching this, that I'm here creating this content and I'm having fun doing it. Guys, let's kiki again in the next review. But until then, I'll say bye.